It's Friday, and you know what that means. It's the day of the week where all the One Piece theories get proven wrong. We have Girth on the cover page. She has this humongous axe, and she is the girl that appeared during Big Mom's flashback, if I recall correctly. I think she's one of the few female giants that we've seen in the series. So, yeah, she looks nice, and I think that's going to do it for the Harjundin pirate cover story arc. Next time we're going to see Orlumbus, so get ready for that. We open up with Big Mom, and she's gone back to her original form, and I thought it was funny because she has hard eyes, but if you look closely, her hat, Napoleon, also has those hard eyes, and I thought it was funny. Then we go back to the wreckage and we find out that the ship that actually got destroyed was not the Sunny, but a ship built by Fisher Tiger because it got switched. I guess before it got hit, it got switched by Watatsumi. So Watatsumi essentially saved the Sunny by eating it. Here's my question though. There's a shot of the flag, the Straw Hat Jolly Roger flag, on the water, okay? And I'm bringing this up because by the end of the chapter, once the Sunny reemerges and is sailing away, we clearly see that it still has its flag. So I don't know if that was like a fake decoy flag that they keep for emergencies, like in case, we just, need to throw away a flag. So apparently the Straw Hats have more than one flag. If not, where did that flag come from and how was it replaced so quickly if that was the same flag? Anyway, in the page where we see Big Mom's ship and the smoke coming out of the wreckage, in that same page, if you look downward, there are two panels, one of which has Smoothie and Daifuku, and the other one has citizens of Whole Cake Island. But if you look closely, one of those people in that second panel is actually Charlotte Moscato. If you remember, Mr. Moscato was the character that Big Mom had allegedly killed back in the beginning of the arc by removing his lifespan. I'm saying allegedly because you can clearly see that that's him. Like, he's bandaged up and stuff, he's damaged, but he's alive, so he's there. So I guess this means that he was just basically an exposition character. It's kind of like, a character that Oda used when he was thinking, here, let me show you what Big Mom can do. And then after I show you what she can do with her power, let's make it have no consequences. Unless you're Beppo's father. I think that was his father, right? Zeppo. He died because of that ability. And Pedro lost a bunch of years. Although I think Pedro's still going to come back, so we'll see. Anyway, Oven uses this ability called Hot Sea Torpedo, which looks really cool. It follows Watatsumi, hits him, and actually forces him to spit out the Sunny because he's burning up. And unfortunately, or fortunately, by doing this, Oven has now officially done more things to be useful and to try and stop the Straw Hats than Smoothie and Daifuku combined. Also throughout this chapter, Oda has kept Sanji noticeably out of focus, which to me means that he's saving him up to do something big. I know I say that a lot, but I still believe that that'll happen. I feel like this chapter is intentionally made so that we can doubt Oda. Like, Oda's just writing this going, I want you to doubt me. I want you to doubt me so that next time, or by the conclusion of the arc, I can surpass all of your expectations. Because I feel like if this is really the way that Oda is planning on resolving this arc, okay, then a lot of the stuff that he set up previously, I mean, what was the point of the cake, for crying out loud? Not even the cake, but what was the point of all those chase chapters? The chase was murder if it doesn't lead to anything substantial concerning the cake. And so again, I do think that has to serve a purpose at some point. If the cake doesn't do anything, what changed? Big Mom is healthy, and she's still chasing the Straw Hats. Maybe the effect of whatever Sanji put inside the cake takes a while for it to work. So maybe we'll see some effect next time. Oh man, am I damage controlling this chapter hard. Thanks to a flashback, we find out that the Sun Pirates have essentially decided to stay behind and grant the Straw Hats some cover while they escape, and if that ends up costing their lives, then so be it. That's how loyal they are to Jimbe. That being said, once the confrontation actually starts, there's a lot of panels that seem like anime stills, like that Oven versus Aladdin shot is a classic example of an anime still. Like, I was honestly half expecting the narrator to butt in and start saying something like, and so it was without hesitation that the Sun Pirates unanimously decided to stay behind and risk their lives for the sake of the future Pirate King and his crew. Also, what is it with Oda not wanting Jinbe to officially join the crew? I feel like I don't know, I'm worried that it's going to become kind of a gag at this point where like Jinbe is the perpetual gray straw hat that's always in limbo. Like it'll just be this thing where he says that he's about to join the crew and then something happens and he doesn't. On the bright side, and thinking about this from a more story-oriented perspective, this actually does a couple of things. Number one, it sets up an epic entrance for Jinbe in Wano. So he's going to be there in the nick of time, and he's going to show up, and everybody's going to be like, Jinbe, you came back! And he's like, yeah! So that's going to be cool. Another thing, technically speaking, because Luffy is pretty much drained from his fight with Katakuri, with Jinbe leaving the Sunny, I think that makes Sanji officially the strongest character aboard the ship. Well, I mean, Luffy would be the strongest, but he's taking a break. He's healing up. So Sanji is technically the guy who, if somebody tries to mess with the Sunny, he's going to have to protect it. I guess what I'm trying to say is that Jinbe leaving the Sunny sets up Sanji because he's top dude. Brook is pretty strong, but it's the monster trio. Okay, and Luffy's recouping, Zoro's not there, you do the math, it sets up Sanji. Also, I strongly suspect that the reason for why Jinbe is not joining the crew at this point in time is because Oda wants Jinbe to join once the entire crew is together so that they can have the official Kanpai moment. It's that moment where everybody's happy and drinking and they're like, cheers for another Nakama. That moment doesn't have the same amount of impact unless the entire crew is together. I like how Capone somehow managed to get aboard one of those tart ships, and apparently Vito is like worried about the Germa. Everybody's staying behind. The Sun Pirates are staying behind, the Germa is staying behind, and I really liked how Jinbe told Nami, you just gotta keep sailing because once the Fishman get serious, they can change the sea currents. And you see this by the end in that final page. It's a very small panel where Jinbe is talking to Aladdin, or Aladdin says, oh, you're back, or whatever, and he's upset, but you look at the background and you see fishmen literally swimming together to shape or to change the state of the sea. Then we got Big News Morgans unlocking future sight observation hockey by the end of this chapter, coming in with that prediction. Listen, I'm not gonna lie, that was by far the worst part of this chapter. That prediction was straight up cringe. I don't care who gets angry. It's the truth. And I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to prove it to you that it's cringe. Because I'm going to do the same thing, but with another show. It was just bad. It was bad that he said that. He should not have said that. You don't need to say those things. Because the way that I read it was like this. Are you ready for my prediction? Here it goes. Wait for it now. I predict that one of the members of Team 7 will become the next Hokage. I'm not really sure which one it will be, but I'm willing to bet that it could be the character that keeps saying that he wants to be Hokage and that happens to be the main character of the show. The problem with the prediction is that it's not a prediction, it's a fact. And it's not like, in other moments where the Straw Hats actually say, I know Luffy will become the next Pirate King. That's not a prediction, that's a conviction. That's their belief, and usually they say that when they're in a hardship. So it's not the same thing. Those statements and this statement do not serve the same narrative, literary purpose. So I just got done reading the manga stream translation, and I have to say that Morgan's statement it reads a lot better in this version. So maybe it was just like the wording that just didn't work for me. But this version I think works a little bit better. He says, very soon from among the group known as the Worst Generation, a Pirate King will be born. Without a doubt though, I think the best panels of this entire chapter are the panels where Jinbe is asking Luffy for permission to stay behind, and the panel where Luffy's actually granting him permission to stay behind by telling him that they'll be waiting for him in Wano. He says, even if it kills you, don't die. And I like them because the background is clear. It's totally white, which kind of like accentuates the epicness of that decision. But also, like, Luffy is wearing it looks like he's wearing a cloak, which to me is kind of like foreshadowing, future king of the pirates, the way that Roger used to wear the cloak and stuff. So I like those panels. That being said, I thought the chapter was okay. It doesn't really feel like this is the actual way that Oda had been planning to resolve the arc, so I'm still hopeful that something amazing will happen before the arc is over. Let me know your comments down below. Like the video if you did. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much for watching and your support. Take care. Bye.